Hi guys, Jan here from the Day of Reckoning here. Today we're going to be reacting to James Stephenson talking about MEGAPACK. And even though I'm hi his big fan and love his work, and especially as Elon gives confirmation to what he writes as well, but I just can't agree with him on this one. It's absurd the points he's making here. So the video starts here at 1:51.
He'll probably come right back out and keep eating. Uh, so what was Anthony asking for my thoughts on? Well, it's another thread from Zero Sum Game 33, the same Twitter handle who you may recall had projections at 75 to 80% gross margins for Tesla Megapacks. And
Can we just stop here? Even though, yeah, I know that what James is here is talking about is the insane 80% margin on megapacks. The zero-sum game isn't even talking about 80% margins here. He's actually talking about 50 plus, obviously 80, but 80% is included in that. But he's not mentioning here that, so that's just insane to bring up here because isn't making that point here.
I just mentioned a couple of red flags that I saw. One of those was mentioning having an inside source at Tesla. That's not good.
Again, what does this have to do with anything? Okay, he may have an inside source, that's great and all, but what does this have to do with his projections? His source may or may not be right, but that doesn't say that his projections are wrong for sure or are right for that matter.
People have been charged with felony securities violations for having inside sources disclosing information to them that the company does not want disclosed, right? I'm not saying that's going on in this case. I'm just
Again, he's just talking and rambling about stupid things that have nothing to do with here. And I've been talking with Zero Sum Game. Yeah, he has some information, but those are nothing that would be sensitive, and most of that information is something that was gotten just from drones flying around Lathrop.
chatting. This is for entertainment purposes only, folks. Do your own research, not financial advice, etc. This account also says in their bio that they're making concentrated bets via call options slash leaps with a current focus of Tesla. So this is somebody who's been buying call options and
Again, what does this have to do with megapacks? Like, I can make bets on anything, I can bet on sports, and does that invalidate my thinking that one team is good or one company is good or bad? No, it doesn't. It's just stupid. Come on.
Tesla. And as many people pointed out, they have a name. Name is Mark Henry on LinkedIn. Okay, I'll get to the thread in just a minute, but I'm just recapping the previous video. That was one of the red flags, or that was two of the red flags. Um,
Yeah, that may be red flags generally, but what does this have to do with his projections again? Just stupid.
and another one was just, trying to convince a lot of people to follow the trade that they have already made, with huge promises like gross margins of
Yeah, but he's not a financial advisor. Thus, nobody said that you have to follow him. These are just his projections. I also have projections and share them with others, but that doesn't mean they have to follow exactly what I do and what I write. That doesn't mean that he said, yeah, this is definitely gonna happen. It's just something that he's trying to figure out. Come on.
75 or 80% are not to be believed in my view. Tesla Energy is not going to be reporting gross margins anywhere close.
think this is pretty much something that is quite obvious. And I think there was an interview a few days ago where Sandy Monroe talked about that he's not sure about 60, but definitely 45% margin. This is insane margins in such a business. Like, incredible.
Close to that figure in total or for Megapack as a line item or a memo item from that division. That's my expectation. Could I be wrong? I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It wouldn't be impossible for me to be wrong about that. It just sounds too good to be true, right? Uh,
Yeah, it obviously sounds too good to be true. There's practically never been such a product. But who is the only, pretty much one of the only companies basically making miracles happen? Oh yeah, it's Tesla. Hmm. I think we should give them at least some, or we should at least trust them that they can make something incredible.
and I'll find you some more stuff in this thread that also seems too good to be true. So this is a more moderated thread saying 50% hardware margins. So it's been knocked down from 75 to 80% margins. Now it's down to only 50% gross margins ish. I'm not going to walk you through all this math, but you can pause the video and read it if you want. You know, the costs of battery materials does come down over time. That's true. Tesla manufactures at scale and has tremendous buying power from makers of battery cells. So they can drive down their costs lower than the market in general does. That's an advantage. Um, let's see. So this is a discussion of how Tesla prices Megapack XL, and they make sure that they're not going to lose money on it by incorporating a lithium carbonate spot price adjustment. So if the price of lithium carbonate supply increases, then Tesla's cost of battery cells would increase. So they need to increase the price to pass that along to buyers of Megapack and Megapack XL, which again are these semi trailers full of batteries, battery packs, and you know, switches and inverters and electronics and software to manage uh, utilities who utilize these as backup power for the energy they generate from power plants. If you buy enough of these trailer loads of batteries, they can act as a buffer on the amount of electricity you're producing, so you don't have to run the power plant 24 hours a day. Or if the duck curve, which is an expression in the industry for how the amount of electricity demanded by the grid changes by the hour through the course of the day. It ramps up during the day, it falls to a lower level overnight. Um, you can help smooth that out if you have battery storage power and not need to produce a ton of excess power that gets wasted. So that's why utilities want to buy these things. And as was also illustrated in the thread, there is an inflation investment tax credit in the Inflation Reduction Act that will refund customers $600,000 to $1 million of the $2 million price per Megapack XL, which sounds great. It sounds like that would let you raise the price as high as you want, but that's not really true because
Yeah, well, obviously it isn't true. I don't know why he's even bringing this in as if Zero Sum Game mentioned this. He hasn't. And 30%, yeah, I think there's more than enough demand that you could bring the prices to 2 million without the credits and just pocket the 30%. Thus, if you did that, and the average price for the Mega Pack is about $2 million, they would could sell them at about $2.9 million. And as Zero Sum Game mentioned that the price for the Mega Pack is about 1 million. They would they would make insane margins up to like 60% plus. This is not just something that he came up. This is basic math. Come on, James.
Because 30% off isn't 100% off,
Again, who said 100% off?
right? It's certainly better to get 30% off than it is to get 0% off. So that is an incentive to drive people to want to buy these this year as that incentive goes into effect. But it doesn't mean they're happy to buy no matter what the price is. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, really?
there is a point at which they would buy from somebody else, right? And there's just a couple of extraordinary claims in here. Here's one. The project must satisfy the prevailing wage and apprenticeship requirements. And this account, this zero sum game, I think it said Mark Henry on LinkedIn, claiming Tesla is the only US based end to end battery storage provider who not only provides the hardware but has its own laborers performing the installation. US customers wanting the 30% tax credit will have to choose Tesla. Well, that's an extraordinary claim. I would expect there to be extraordinary evidence sourced.
Like, James, can you please stop with this BS? Like, even if Tesla is not the only one, that that at the end of the day that doesn't really matter, does it? Because who has the best vertical integration, the best prices for the best performance per buck? Who has the best facilities and people to install it? Who has the software to back the whole thing up? Well, pretty much no one. There's no one that can compete. Maybe Panasonic has some people and maybe other smaller companies have it. But there's just no one that has such product that could even remotely compete with Tesla. Why would you, even if even if Tesla isn't the only one, Tesla will get the most of the business that is offered in the United States.
To back up this claim. And if you're waiting, you're going to be waiting a long time because Mark Henry has not provided any source for that information apart from Mark Henry says.
Well, have you provided any source that there are others as well? Yeah, well, you haven't. And I've talked to him, and he's done a lot of research that is definitely far more than you've done. So please, come on. If you have information, please give us some information.
It seems unlikely to me that Tesla would be or would remain, even if they are the only, even if they were the only provider who met these qualifications at some point in time, that would remain so in perpetuity. It seems hard to believe, right? Uh, oh yeah. So here's your tweet that became or that I will title this video. Tesla has
Well, of course, no, nobody actually believes that something is unlimited. Obviously, that's something a child would believe or someone that doesn't understand figure of speech. Like, of course, they'll not have unlimited pricing power, but they'll definitely have so much they can price it for far more than it's currently priced. Thus, they could have insane margins that will be even far higher than the auto business, which already has by far the industry leading margins.
unlimited in all caps pricing power. Well, that's not true. Unlimited pricing power would mean
Again, this is like someone who doesn't understand basic figure of speech. Like, of course, you can't take this literally. Like, should I take what you're saying literally? Obviously not.
Tesla could charge $10 million per Megapack XL, and they aren't. They're charging $2 million per Megapack XL. So this is exactly the kind of histrionics you would expect, or the kind of exaggeration you would expect to hear from somebody who's underwater on buying Tesla call options.
Like, what does this have to do with his call options? Like, yeah, I understand that he would rather the stock would be higher, that he would rather that the business would be such and such, but him providing analysis doesn't just suddenly increase the price of the Tesla stock or the valuations that the stupid Wall Street analysts would give Tesla. Obviously, it doesn't. It's just giving you something to think about and to anticipate that likely energy business is going to be far bigger than we previously thought. Can you just stop mentioning this? Like, why do you have to give zero credence to someone that is betting on someone? That doesn't mean anything that they say will be true, but it doesn't also disprove them. So give them a chance, man.
and desperate to have other people follow them into that trade.
Like, who is desperate here? You're desperate to make BS arguments. I don't know.
So that their investment works out. Um, th- this is an untrue tweet. And if people are interested in knowing what my feedback
Oh, come on. Are you really gonna be just talking about this? This is just so stupid. Come on.
is, or what my reaction is to seeing this thread, that's it. Is that it's very hard to trust an account that would tweet something like this. Tesla doesn't have unlimited pricing power. The price of the product is where it
I can immediately, just by taking the words at face value, exactly as he said them, why is that your reason not to trust them at all? Like, he's done so much research that he knows what he's talking about. He's not pulling this shit out of his ass. Like, come on.
is because Tesla doesn't have unlimited pricing power. So it calls into question the rest of the research or claims being made by this person when you see them making a claim like that that's patently absurd on its face. Um, and I don't think I need to read you the rest of this. So this is just, it sounds like it's somebody who's just pumping a stock.
Again, even if he's pumping, which I doubt he actually is, how would that change anything? He's not affecting the stock price. Obviously, he's not. Then what is he doing? If someone were pumping, it would be Elon if someone. But zero sum game just doesn't have the impact. Yeah, he may share something, but will people just blindly follow? Of course they will not. Like, what?
That they are long and trying to get other people to follow them. I wish I had another conclusion I could arrive at.
Well, you're probably long Tesla as well. And I could say pretty much everything you say is pumping the stock. Well, it probably isn't, right? You're just trying to prove your point about Tesla stock in all your charts. Doesn't mean that if someone provides a valid argument that isn't the same as yours, that you just need to shit on them.
But let me know in the comments below what you think after reading this thread. And I guess I will have to check in on the Loki's bed cam.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much the meat of the whole video, and I just don't understand why he has to be like this to everyone and just shit on other stakes. Like, what if I did that to him and all the stuff he does? No, I won't. I may disagree with him, but that doesn't mean that his what he has actually researched is wrong, like his charts. But you can't do that the same thing to someone else who made so or did so much research into this and just say, yeah, they're wrong because, well, I haven't seen this. Like, what the fuck? Come on. This is such a baby argument to make. Please actually do the research and present what you have. Like, even I couldn't believe what Zero Sum Game provided at first, but when I went deeper and tried to research the things, I found out that he's most likely correct. If he may be a bit too optimistic, that doesn't invalidate his arguments. Yeah, Tesla might ramp a bit slower or be at a bit lower production, but no. Thank you for listening to my ramblings, and Yang signing off.